Nick Saban asked Donald Trump to do something about NIL. Now, I don't know what exactly he wanted done, but I do know I received a phone call this morning from the good folks at CNN, and they asked me to come on television on Tuesday. And I said, what for? And they said, because Donald Trump is considering an executive order on NIL, which I believe is to limit the payments.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Oh, so you're saying that there's a 3-letter slogan that Donald Trump has a strong opinion on, but actually doesn't know anything about. That man doesn't know anything. Let's just get this out of the way. Doesn't know jack. Somebody came to him, somebody famous, and said, hey, I'm a famous person. You're a famous person. You should do something about this. And he's like, absolutely. What is it? No, he didn't even ask that. He didn't get to that stage. It's just like the NIL. It's bad. And in his pudding brain, he's like, yeah. It's real bad because this guy wants it done. And then he asked Tommy Tuberville, who evidently has his fingers in this as well, and got the idea that NIL was bad. If you ask Donald Trump what NIL was, you get a 4-minute answer, and none of it would have anything to do with NIL. Doesn't know, didn't do any of the reading, didn't do any of the research, won't do any of the research, will issue an executive order and immediately forget what he did. He forgot he was going to open Alcatraz.
Bomani Jones and Spencer Hall hit the nail on the head. If unaware, Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports would tweet that Nick Saban, along with Texas billionaire with a B, Cody Campbell, will chair a commission in an effort to create a solution to name, image, and likeness.
How little, how nothing that man knows or attempts to know. And that's what it's going to be with NIL. And also, I'm sorry, none of it's going to be legal anyway, right? None of it. They're going to go back to the courts who have smacked down every attempt to limit this, and they're not going to get it. And I'm sorry, there's just one more thing, Bo. The piece of legislation that is actually attempting to do this, do you know who is co-sponsoring it? Ted Cruz. Do you know what Ted Cruz is for any piece of legislation? Cholera. Plague. No one wants to sign it because no one wants to work with Ted Cruz.
Let me be clear. The precedent that is being set is by a billionaire who has shown he does not care about the rights of anyone except if you participated in the January 6th insurrection. A billionaire from Texas and a multi-millionaire head coach. That is damning. These are the people who are going to decide the fate of college athletes. Via The Athletic, Yahoo Sports first reported Trump is planning to create a presidential commission to examine a long list of issues facing college sports, from booster-funded payments, doesn't care about that, and transfer rules, that he will care about, to conference alignment and Title IX. He's not going to do anything about conference alignment. He will do something about Title IX because it's been brought up over and over as a way to hamper the rights of trans athletes. This has been in motion for some time, though, with Nick Saban and Republicans.
You just retired from an amazingly and historically significant coaching career. How much did the current chaos and state of the law contribute to your decision to retire now?
All the things that I believed in for all these years, 50 years of coaching, no longer exist in college athletics. So it's always was about developing players. It was always about helping people be more successful in life. My wife even said to me, we'd have all the recruits over on Sunday with their parents for breakfast, and she would always meet with the mothers and talk about how she was going to help and impact their sons and how they would be well taken care of. And she came to me, right before I retired and said, why are we doing this? And I said, what do you mean? She said, all they care about is how much you're going to pay them. They don't care about how you're going to develop them, which is all what we've always done. So why are we doing this? So, to me, that was sort of a red alert that we really are creating a circumstance here that is not beneficial to the development of young people. And that's the reason that I always like college athletics more than the NFL, is because you had the opportunity to develop young people. As I said before, name, image, and likeness is a great opportunity for them to create a brand for themselves. I'm not against that at all. But to come up with some kind of a system that still can help the development of young people, I think, is paramount to the future of college athletics.
To be clear, from Adam Gorney of Rivals at the time of this press conference, Nick Saban loved having all the control running his program the way he wanted it done, and now because that setup has changed, retirement seemed more appealing. Good for him. But don't hold it against others trying to chase success and how they want to define it either, or where they seek it. You know what else Nick Saban and Donald Trump have in common?
I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, "You want to quit?" They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike, and you say, "That's okay. You're all gone. You're all gone." So every one of you is gone, and you are the greatest. You would be very good.
They're union busters. They're scabs. Because you see, Saban is an investor in luxury car dealerships, big supporter of Mercedes. His son Nicholas even works at one of the businesses that he owns in Birmingham, Alabama. Yet, in an exclusive report from Axios, Saban would be sent down. He'd be given his marching orders. Go to Birmingham, where his son works, to talk to workers at its auto manufacturing campus, thus using his star power in the South. Saban would say in meetings he does not endorse the UAW's campaign. To understand how grotesque these actions are, one quality inspector at the site and a member of the UAW's voluntary organizing committee in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, would tell the outlet they don't stop the line for hardly anything, but they shut the line down, and they had a meeting with Nick Saban in there to talk to us about teamwork and the tactics and methods he used as a football coach. And here's the thing, those tactics work.
Mercedes workers were dealt a tough loss this week. So what is your message to workers, the media, people watching about the role of a tough loss in the larger labor movement?
It's part of life. I mean, I'm sitting right here right now as a product of losing. The first election I ever ran for, I lost. So I believe ultimately workers are going to, demand more, and we're going to keep doing this. It's not, we don't quit. We keep rolling, and we got a lot more great days ahead, a lot more victories ahead.
From The Athletic, Campbell, by the way, is a board member of Texas Public Policy Foundation and a distinguished fellow at the America First Policy. America First. And he would also be an integral piece to Donald Trump's second-term policy agenda. So he's written for The Federalist, pretty important. He has called for antitrust protection from Congress. There must be, according to CBS Sports, a single set of rules and laws to govern college sports across the country, he would write, not a patchwork of 34 different state laws as we have today. He bought his seat. He bought his seat at that table. I want to be clear about this. Nick Saban has a relationship with Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas. I believe he has donated to Abbott's campaign. He has donated to a literal white supremacist, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick's campaign as well, where he has gone off with great replacement theory. The model that they are telling you, if one can just decipher it, is that they don't like these kids making money. I agree that there needs to be some form of regulation, but if I were to give a percentage of how far the needle should move, I would say 10 to 20, and they're going to move it 90 to 100. The transfer rules, I think there are certain ways to go about it, but what they are going to do is stifle the college athlete, because Nick Saban has this vendetta over the new rules that have been in place. When athletes finally got to be able to make some money off of their name, image, and likeness. And he made the argument that, you know what, I can't coach anymore. I just can't do it anymore. The game has changed. There's a great show called Magic City where one of the villains, who Bryant McFadden put me on to, by the way, said, adapt or die. He didn't adapt. So now, because he couldn't, he's teaming up with Ted Cruz in order to limit the rights of college athletes and what they can make off of themselves, because these dudes and women have a cup of coffee, most of them. The percentages, at least, are heavily backed up by what I'm saying. In the NCAA, after they go into a professional field, largely not sports. So I'm telling you, this is bad. and it is going to get worse. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports, and or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.